Mm.
Hi. Okay. It's today, 7th. Hey, Kent.
Yeah.
Thank you for my Christmas bonus. That was really very kind.
You're welcome.
I say thanks.
Rob says thanks.
Well, it was just preparation for when I was going to make you come on Zoom every single night, So.
We forgot something. Have another
Yes.
meeting.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember for the variance applications. That's just, oh yeah, I got to have DRC.
I kind of feel like they already did it, but maybe they need to do it.
They need to do it formally. Yeah. They didn't have their little worksheet
Right.
the time previous, way back in October. So.
Howdy.
Officer on deck. So. And Sean's here too. That's good.
Need better pens. Yeah, I know there is a pen.
US-based customer service that's been ranked #1 by J.D. Power 9 times in a row. Flexible plans that you can change anytime. Consumer Cellular is also an approved AARP provider, so members get exclusive discounts.
I'm sure they would be.
Wireless that gives you everything you need for less. Switch to
You didn't go and sign that thing, did you?
go online.
I didn't do it either. Oh, baby.
Seat safe, spills and misses. Company keeps your phone secure while allowing easy access when charging. WeatherTech got you covered all season long.
You can't,
Yeah.
this letter that you gave Rob, do you need it back? Is this the original?
I have copies of it.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't know if it was the original or not.
I think it is. That's why I was wondering. But it's hard to tell.
I got a scan of it and
Okay.
I still have a copy of it.
Savannah Guthrie, live from our nation's capital. It is a new day in Washington. With new details on investigations into the Capitol Hill siege, White House reaction, and a look at how the country moves forward. Tomorrow on Today.
A Capitol police officer has died. I talked today with a businessman from Colorado who bragged about storming the Capitol yesterday. We'll put aside this week's chaos to do something together for our neighbors.
You're very dark, Mark.
Oh, hi.
He's hiding.
Checking my emails on my phone. I got a little behind today, just like usual.
How do you know I got a little behind today?
I said I did.
Yeah.
You did also, I presume, huh?
Yes, I did.
I thought you'd be out of town by now.
Out of town?
Yeah, someplace.
Well, I can't go anyplace until I get my vaccine.
Yeah. Are you online for next week?
Tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, where are you
But
getting
that's
yours at?
only the first one, so then you have to wait 4 weeks to the second one. But that's fine. That's okay.
Wait.
That's good.
Where are you getting yours at?
Dumont Station.
Oh, okay.
You're
Better
still
check my
very
emails.
dark.
I know. I like it that way.
He's sexy.
Makes me look like I got a tan.
No.
Oh,
Are we expecting Joan? She's so good at these things.
I hope so. 'Cause I don't have any notes or anything.
Yeah,
There she is.
yeah.
You said her name. You didn't even have to say it 3 times.
Usually don't. Usually works.
Well, I wanted to be punctual. Hey, everybody. Are we ready to start?
Yes.
Would please call the roll.
Sure. Joan Eaton.
Here.
Sean Platt.
Here.
Cindy Neely.
Here.
Nancy Hale. Mark Reynolds.
Here.
Hamilton. Frank Ganzer.
Here.
Okay. Great. Thanks, everybody. So I guess we'll have approval of the agenda.
We only have one thing on it. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the last meeting, all I said was this meeting is just to discuss this issue. So that's okay. I can do the same.
Yes, this is a special meeting. It is not a regular meeting.
Right. But we do have a recommendation to write here.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So we don't have public business. So let's get to it then. And they're not on the call, I take it. So our findings and recommendations. Is this the first time the zoning people have met since October?
They are the Board of Adjustment. They only meet when they have to.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So, I mean, it's been 3 months. So I just wondered what was taking.
Yeah, no, they only meet when they have to. They only get called if there's a request.
Okay, I didn't have a problem with them. I was just thinking, why did this take so long?
Because they didn't submit the application till the beginning of December. So,
Well, that was my point. This was back from October. So, they got right on that. Okay. So we have 7 things on our recommendation here. This is regarding the fence.
Yeah. Should we, for the sake of the minutes, describe the request a little bit?
Okay, so this is 1600 Main Street, a fence that was built with no prior DRC approval and does not meet our standards nor zoning standards. And when they came in to discuss it with us, we told them first they need zoning and then we can discuss the fence itself, which I don't know where we're going to go with that. I thought, Mark, do you think they were supposed to take the fence down first? Mark, not on.
Technically, according to the law, are you not supposed to have you're not supposed to have your structure up if you're asking for a variance for it?
right. I kept expecting that, because I told them as far as they will have to take it down. and did not go to the expense of taking it down until we told them to take it down. It is technically that, no, it should not be left standing if there's no approval for it.
And is it
So
down?
it's
No.
not down. It's still up at this point.
And their driveway's not fixed yet either, I assume. The white,
Oh, it's,
white concrete driveway?
yeah, the concrete is yeah, the concrete is
Okay,
the same color it has been.
okay. So number one would be, so we'll have a place at the end for overall comments where we can discuss that kind of stuff. So number one is the effect of the proposed change upon the general historic and or architectural character of the structure area. And
And we have a choice of saying that it has an adverse or a, or no effect or a positive effect. I think that's what our, you know,
well, basically, yeah, I mean, I think we could say the fence as it is has an adverse effect as far as
I would,
DRC guidelines.
that one, yes, I would say that it has an adverse effect and is not in keeping with, you know, as you said to begin with, is not in keeping with our guidelines or the zoning. We have no desire to set any sort of precedence for an 8-foot fence.
A horizontal fence too.
That's solid.
We don't like this fence.
Except where it faces the junkyard behind it. But
Yeah.
that's my own
yeah,
opinion.
the back is
So-
kind of a different issue, but across the front, you know, and basically
Yeah.
putting it up without permission was kind of the issue there too.
Well,
Yeah.
and as far as the junkyard goes, they knew it was there.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
suddenly appear after they purchased a house.
Right.
You know, if we all
It's
got,
still an ugly piece of property though. So
Yeah.
I get that.
Oh, wait a
We
minute.
all got to fence out.
just the immediate. Yeah, the neighbors back there. Okay. Number two is the architectural style, arrangement, texture, and materials used on existing and proposed structures and their relation to other structures in the area.
Well, the style, as you point out, is big horizontal fences aren't what we do either. You know, they would be a vertical board fence if we were talking about that kind of a fence. So no, it is adverse in style, and it is it's not adverse in material, but it is adverse in location.
Okay.
Mark, are you there?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I want people to speak up, whether they agree or disagree or whatever.
No, I totally agree.
Okay, as long as we're together here.
Sorry, I'm just trying to write it all because I won't remember. Okay, the fence is a horizontal board with no spacing and the height is not to DRC guidelines, all of which are not DRC guidelines. Okay,
Well, if they took it down, they'd have a lot of boards and they could go the other.
yeah, just stand them up. Okay. The effects of the proposed work in creating, changing, destroying, or affecting otherwise the exterior architectural features of the structure upon which such work is to be done. So I don't really think it's affecting the,
Not the structure itself.
yeah, so no,
That's a non-applicable
okay,
in NA.
okay. And number 4 is the effects of the proposed work upon the protection, enhancement, perpetration, and use of the structure or area. So they do have dogs, but, you know, 8 fence is not ever a consideration. 6-foot fence. And I would, since the fence in the front, it actually, stops, it starts right at the edge of the house there. It doesn't come into the front yard, technically. I wouldn't mind so
Yeah.
much that that was 6 feet across there, but not 8 feet.
I don't agree with that.
You don't want 6 feet across there?
Why, Mark?
Well, again, you're telling people it's all right to bring it to the front edge of the house. And,
Well, that's kind of what we've always said. 6 feet can't pass the front of the house.
okay, all right. It just, well, it's hard to tell when it's 8 foot. It just looks like a blockade.
Oh, it's a total walled in. Yeah, I agree. I think 6 feet would make a difference and
Yep.
the right
Absolutely.
configuration.
You mean you would be willing to consider it a side fence as opposed to a front fence? Because what our rules say is that you can do a 6 foot for enclosure for a variety of reasons on the side or to the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I consider the front fence in your front yard, and that really is the dividing line where their side yard becomes the front. It's not across the front of the yard.
Yes.
And they do have a fairly good sized yard in front of it too, so it's not right up on the street.
Right, so I think that we ought to say, considering its location, it can be determined to be a side fence, which would give it a 6 foot limitation. But you don't get to be 8 feet around the whole back side.
Well, especially because that backyard's elevated too. I mean,
That's
they have 4 feet of cribbing down below that fence. So that's not a dog issue in the back. And that's what they're claiming.
And 6 foot's measured from grade, right?
What?
Yeah.
6 foot's measured from grade, right? That's the reference line.
Yes.
How high is the dirt? Okay.
So if you build up a hill, it can still be
Right,
6.
if it would build up the hill, would they be able to get away with it then?
Yeah. Okay.
If it's 6 foot versus any higher. Yeah, those retaining walls, that's causes a problem with measuring the height of the fence.
because essentially they've put an 8 foot fence on top of the retaining wall.
Yes.
Yeah, although the pre-existing fence was on top of it as well. So
And that's
it was not,
to put
And
your.
that was like a picket fence, like a 4 foot fence or something, right? Pictures did not come out good at all. So I was looking at some of the previous ones. I guess that's.
I think it
beside the
might have
point.
been like a 6 foot picket fence back there.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what it looked like from the pictures.
Yeah.
okay. All right, number 5, the use to which the structure or area will be put, and that is to contain dogs.
Yeah, and that's, but as far as whether, that's not impactful in this decision. I mean, it's one of the reasons that you would let them have the maximum fence, but it's not, they're asking for more than the maximum fence.
Yeah, but I mean, we allow 6 feet for dogs, so.
I think we should note that a fence that fits within the rules would be adequate for the use described.
Okay,
It's really no effect as far as the decision goes. You have plenty of negative effects
Right.
with
6
the rest.
foot, you can-
no effect. Okay. And then number 6 is the condition of existing improvements and whether they are a hazard to public health or safety. And, considering their dogs can get over what was the existing fence or get out, I guess that would be part of that, maybe. Because I don't think the fence was hazardous.
And I'm not sure that it even applies to the,
Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
getting ready to say. The dog issue isn't our issue.
Okay.
You know?
compliance of the proposed development or work with all applicable design guidelines.
It does not comply.
Yeah.
It does not comply with the design guidelines. It does not comply with the zoning regulations. And to just let it go would set a very difficult precedent.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, it just doesn't look like what we have around here, you know, what should be around here. All right, so we have, are there any other comments that we want to make about this?
I think at one level, we need to stress, really stress to the Board of Adjustment. The Board of Adjustment really tries hard to give people what they ask for and try to be understanding. I somehow that we have to stress that this is a serious issue to us.
So this would be where we would put in this fence was put up without prior consulting or permission from design review. It does not meet our, okay,
Or permit.
okay.
No permit, it had no anything, and we cannot afford to, the precedent of award, rewarding that, and
Right.
can't afford the precedent of what the fence looks like in its neighborhood either. We can't afford that kind of a precedent in that visible, but to offer a potential solution to the owner, yes, you probably could have a 6-foot high vertical fence in the exact same location you have this fence.
So basically, they're going to have to come back to us about the design once they get zoning. So I'm not going to add anything about that there. So I'll say the fence was put up without prior DRC review. It would not have been approved, and it was not permitted.
Yes, and there was no permit, right?
Okay.
And we do not want this as a precedent. Come on, Planning Board of Adjustment, we really don't. Hey, Ken, are we allowed to be there?
It's a public meeting. And I think since we do that amongst the regular structure as far as the written form from you all, as far as the recommendation, I wouldn't expect to ask for a reply, because I'm sure the same 5 members couldn't attend the meeting. So you might have a little different, you want it as far as the consensus, this is what's written on the recommendation.
Right.
That's the formal recommendation from the
Right. And I
DRC.
don't think that anybody who represented the DRC would wander from anything but the formal recommendation. I do, however, know that sometimes simply sitting in the space makes a lot of difference.
It is a public meeting and you can attend. I will ask Jerry regarding if we'll have to mute you and put an electronic mask over you for the meeting itself. So.
No, I don't think you get to put an electronic mask, maybe. But no mask. It's why we do these Zoomy things, so we.
No, I meant as far as
I
the
know.
mute. Start going off on that.
Okay, so we still have overall recommendations now, because I put that as our comment. And then for recommendation, we recommend that
That the Board of Adjustment deny this application and send the applicant back to the DRC.
okay, but then what about the zoning issue?
Well,
It-
and plan a fence that's within the zoning. The 6-foot.
Unless you would get a variance, that the zoning issue goes away. Because then you have to follow the rules that are already within the zoning.
But the variance doesn't let them have an 8-foot fence, right?
Yes, it does. That's
Yeah.
exactly
They could.
what variance does.
Yeah.
Well, it allows it according to zoning. It could come back to you and say, well, now that it's approved for an 8-foot fence, It still has to get approved by the DRC. Yes, as far as the COA.
We can't then
Okay.
argue its height. Can't.
Yeah, I would think that we're talking more about the placement of the fence and maybe the back part for the variance that they're looking for. The front is not going to fly at DRC, correct? Are we going to make them take the whole fence down then?
But what we're talking about is that they should not have a fence that's over 6 feet anywhere.
Okay. So
Not
what is our recommendation? That this fence be taken down and?
Your
and-
recommendation is regarding the issue at hand, which is the variance request. And so
They do
you
not grant it.
recommend denying the variance request. That's the short and simple answer. You
Okay.
recommend denial.
And denial would mean that they needed to have a fence within the DRC and zoning guidelines.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I've got it then.
And they do have a lot of material out there. Guys, could they do something with all that material and make a different fence?
They could build a doghouse. They got kennels out there for their dogs, but they don't have a house. Okay.
They have the
so-
mess, is what they have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
But
well,
that's, when you don't follow the guidelines and you don't go get a permit,
yeah, Yeah.
and, the contractor did show up at the town hall and grab the regulations, so
so he knew better.
they knew what they were getting into. They just went ahead and did it.
Yeah, okay, well, all right then. I think that's all we have on tonight, and we will adjourn if that's okay.
Can I ask, Kent, the Board of Adjustment is next, when?
Well,
Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's the one board we can have, well, the second board that actually can occur during the day. 10
it's gonna
o'clock
be
in
a
the morning.
Zoom, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Although
You-
one of the board members will be here in town hall. So just because we help her
okay,
with the computer part.
okay. Well, do you think one of us should be on that, Cindy?
I think that one of us should be listening on that, yes.
Okay, do you want that to be you or?
Well, I have to listen to the consent agenda for the county. And
Okay.
I'm not sure whether that's a conflict or not, because I don't know when they do their consent agenda.
All right, do you want me to do it then? Does anybody else want to do it?
I'm not sure I'm going to be around, so.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
Tuesday, the
I won't be
12th,
available.
Tuesday, the 12th at 10 a.m.
Right, but
Yeah.
we need to have the Zoom for,
I've got to run.
We'll
this
forward the link.
Yeah, I've got to run this paperwork over tomorrow, so I'll have Jen send me the link for it.
Kent, would you forward it to me too? Because I really don't know when sometimes they do their consent agenda first thing, sometimes it's way later in the day. I just have to find the county consent agenda.
Sure. We'll send it to the board.
Okay,
Okay,
And I got to finish the staff report for the Board of Adjustment in the morning. So Joan, if you could bring by whatever you wrote on your recommendation form,
I'll
drop it off at town
bring
hall.
it in early. Yeah, before, I did painting, so I'll do it before I start painting. Thanks, everybody. Let's adjourn.
okay.
All right, see you next
Good night.
week.
See you next week. Bye, thanks.
Uh,
Thanks,
Uh,
bye.
bye.